Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Metroid Link to the Past randomized. We got a good one here. It's Team Plasma Go Brrrr on the left side, Shadow Amp and IEE754, otherwise known as Nate, against Pear with Asher and Polar Bear Bunny. It's going to be a really hype matchup. Two very good teams with a lot of experience and a lot of chemistry within their teams as well. So it should be really nice to see these guys play with co-op. My name's A0. I'm joined by Eleanor Lamb. How are you, Eleanor?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. I'm really looking forward to this match. Like you said, this should be a super hype match. Lots of skill to go around. So I'm really excited to see what these guys bring to the table.
Yeah, same. And it's interesting looking at these two teams and comparing them because we have with Pear, Azure and Polar Bunny have been kind of mainstays of a lot of these Super Metroid events, whether it be Randomizer, Bingo, or vanilla game speedrunning events. Whereas the left side, we've got a little bit less competitive experience. I feel like Nate in particular is a bit of an underdog almost, even though he's very good just because he hasn't done a lot of competitive racing and tournaments. Shadow Amp's much the same, recently been doing more competitive racing, but these two have played together and independently for a very long time. And I think that anyone who's not expecting a big amount of skill from Plasma Go Brrrr is going to be very surprised, in for a treat.
Do you know, are they more Super Metroid or are they A Link to the Past as we get started?
It's hard to say. I'm not super familiar with like that kind of comparison necessarily, but I think that if I had to pick, I would say Shadow Amp is a little bit more on the Link to the Past side, and Nate's a little bit more on the Super Metroid side. But they're both extremely balanced, and I think that's one of the things that makes them such a good team.
Yeah, I'd struggle to say, for example, what Astor's primary game is, because he has been so active in all the Super Metroid tournaments, and just a bottle on the island.
Yeah, we get a little bit of divergence, as you'd expect from a lot of teams choose to do this route. One player going down to Blue Brinstar, one player going into Link to the Past right away. But
yep, and we just find some rupees in Link's house and a bomb capacity upgrade in Sanctuary. We've got a hook shot at Morph Ball.
that's a good find. I think both teams will be happy that they checked this early. Even though it doesn't unlock anything right now, it's going to be really good once we get either Dark World access or Death Mountain access. Actually, that stun prize check is really nice early as well.
I was gonna say that tree pull that was 8 bombs was a nice amount of bombs to get started too.
Yeah, I missed which tier that was, but it looks like Polar Bunny didn't get that one. She just got the 5 arrow packs, which is much less helpful.
I think it was the tier 3, assuming the bug still exists where you get tier 3 for zoning over.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a bug. I've heard some different things about exactly how that works, but it's not always consistent, but it usually is primed for tier 3 unless you take a hit from any enemies. Hopefully Pear can get some bombs or rupees somewhere to make up for that. Otherwise, that's brings for a really obnoxious start when you're trying to clear through Kakariko and you don't have any rupees, you don't have any bombs. Bush crabs are unfortunately no good.
Yeah, the good news is there's some bombs at the mushroom spot, so Polar Bear Bunny's gonna have at least 3.
Yeah, that's great. That's really all you need is those 3 to get back of the well, back of Blind's hut, and the chicken house. Oh, look at this sync from Azure and Shadow Amp. That's really impressive that both of them went down and came back up the climb and are this in sync.
It's interesting because Astor's hookshotting and Shadow isn't, but they're still exactly synced.
Yeah, it is a time save to use that hookshot, but it's such a small one that it's hard to notice unless you do it over and over again, the real difference.
Ooh, Power Glove in Blind's basement.
Yeah,
so it's gonna make that hookshot valuable.
Yeah, we'll see how early they choose to push it. if either of these teams think that they're at an advantage for having that hook shot early. Going up Death Mountain at this point seems a little bit premature since obviously no lamp is very doable, but it's a little bit slow, especially without a sword or anything else to help you navigate. The hookshot isn't the best item for that.
Ooh, that's a Varia suit in the first chest in the well.
Nice find, unless you wanted to see a bunch of Hellrons.
Second chest is Space Jump. And an Ice Rod. So the well holding all the goodies today.
Pretty good variety of useful items already.
That's a nice charge beam from the bottle vendor.
Yeah, that's a good peace of mind for sure. Not having to think about ammo, hunting that down. You can, whenever you feel comfy, start skipping all the missile packs. But we've seen a couple supers already. I think that's 3 super packs. It's hard to keep track of who's going to be getting which ones. Hard to know, but at least we've seen a couple.
And I know we found some power bombs in Blonde's basement too. Of course, we still need that morph ball. So with that earlier Ice Rod, do you want to take a bet on whether Total Rock is a pendant or not?
I mean, based on the numbers, I'd guess it'd be a crystal, but the way it tends to be, if it's a crystal, doesn't have anything good in there, it's just the crystal. So that's probably what's going to happen this time.
Just a reserve tank at the race game. I also didn't see anything particularly valuable in Mini Mordorm Cave.
Yeah, it looked like just ammo to me, unless I missed it as well. But still something you've got to check. And with the hookshot, it's pretty nice. Looks like nothing in front of Escape either. I don't think... We didn't get the small key. I don't remember... I didn't see if we got the map or not in there, but... Nothing good.
We've got Nate checking out the back of Escape. Finds a screw attack.
Screw attack. That's interesting. That gives us some checks to do in Super Metroid.
That also makes almost every enemy in Super Metroid super easy to kill.
Yeah, for sure. You pretty much want that or plasma.
Yeah, screw attack I think is probably my favorite Super Metroid item. Looks like Nate's also going to set up to do the hula hand trick.
Yeah, not a bad idea to get some rupees. Shadow found 300 rupees somewhere.
Mini Mordor.
Mini Mordor. Okay. So I'm not sure how big of a fan I am of this one for Nate for getting these rupees. I mean, it's a good like cushion. You might need them later, and then it's kind of out of the way. It's a very low chance you'll have to farm, but I think at this point, just wait on that.
Yeah, I kind of assumed he was going to go get that 300 and check Zora. Otherwise, I'm with you, kind of why do it now?
Yeah, I think his reasoning, and I guess this makes a little more sense seeing where he's gone now. He wanted to come out of Link's house, but instead of just saving quitting the Link's house, take advantage of the opportunity to do Houlihan and leave the front of Link's house and do these early SM checks. Still think he could have waited on it, but it's if you're going to do it, he at least found a way to route something in with it, which is nice.
PBB forgot she has space jump.
It's so easy to do, especially with Screw Attack. This is why Screw Attack's not the best item, because it hides your animation for space jump, and you can make this mistake. I've done this plenty of times myself.
Worth noting that there is an option in the randomizer that you can turn on so that there's different animations.
Yes, I don't know if that's allowed in these races. SMZ3. I know there have been tournaments where it was not allowed, and I got used to having that setting turned off. Some players don't like the look of it either.
Yeah, I've never turned it on, so I don't even know what it looks like in the first place.
It's like a very very subtle spark from the screw attack instead of a full animation. All right, did you catch those crystals and pendants? I didn't.
I
Get a good
saw
look.
a red crystal at Tower of Hera, and that's all that I caught.
I saw red at Eastern too, but I don't know if it was a pendant or a crystal. Hopefully our trackers, Epi and Maddie Walker, got that figured out. But they are helping us keep track of everything that we're going to miss, because I guarantee I'll miss some things throughout the race.
I feel like I've already missed things.
Well, so far the trackers look in line with what we've commented on, so that's a good sign. But yeah, that screw attack opens up some of these checks in Brinstar. This isn't necessarily the best use of your time if you don't find anything here. In a solo seed, you might route it differently, but there are 2 more checks left for Nate down here at Pink Brinstar. It's nothing. He'll be resetting. Polar Bunny on her way, just right behind.
So it looks like we've got a red crystal in Eastern, a crystal in Desert, and a red crystal in Hera is what our trackers are telling us.
Alrighty, thank you to our trackers. That's very helpful. Alright, that flute at Big Pink here, that's going to send the runners up to East Death Mountain, I would imagine, very quickly. Which I see no reason for Shadow not to save and quit really quick. I don't know if he's got anything else yet to pick up that Nate has, but he'll probably be into that Big Pink area rather quickly. Same with Azure. After he gets back with Escape done.
I almost feel like you just skip getting the flute, and if you can do the dark rooms, you just do the dark room with the old man and get up there that way. Rather than going all the way to Big Pink to get that flute.
You know, you're right. That's a good point. That's a hard call. I guess it depends a lot on your personal skill. I know for me that using the hook shot in particular is not my best means of navigating. I'd do much better with like a boomerang or a bow.
Sure, myself personally, I would totally go to Big Pink and get that flute.
Yeah. It's a tricky one because if it's going to be a very long time before you get that flute, if you have to go to places like Agina over in the desert area, if you have to use that flute several times, like the earlier you get it, the more time you save from it. But if you can avoid that extra dip into Big Pink, then that's a big time save too. So looks like Azure and Shadow are in fact skipping that for right now and just going up in the dark room, as you mentioned, Eleanor.
Yep, and Shadow made it through nice and quick. Azure making it through just as quickly.
I love this sync we're seeing, and Azure and Shadow neck and neck going up Death Mountain. Nate just basically 1 room ahead of Polar Bunny over here in Blue Brinstar.
They're both picking up that hook shot, assuming there's going to be some necessary progression on East Death Mountain, which seems like a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, definitely. We might have a Pendant Swamp Palace coming, so it might not be hard required for this seed, but depending on if there's any items in there, if there's anything in Hookshot Cave, and of course, the alternatives to not having a hookshot at the top of GT are pretty difficult and just time consuming. If your hovers aren't almost perfect, you're going to lose time over just using the hookshot. So you might as well just get it if you know where it is.
Yeah, I don't know if Polar Bear Bunny Well, let me rephrase it this way rather than saying the 3 that I don't know. I know Asner can hover, and it wouldn't surprise me if he knows how to do the motor and bounce, but I have no idea on the other 3 runners.
I'm right there with you, Eleanor. That is my knowledge on the situation too. But it won't matter this time since we got the hook
Yep.
shot. Such an
We will-
easy to get spot.
We will not be finding out this seed. Unless somebody wants to pull a Solski.
So we got the mitts in Paradox Cave here. That's almost Dark World access. Just missing out on the Moon Pearl.
That is, interestingly enough, does that give any access to Lower Norfair?
Yeah, with the flute, it gives us flute and screw attack gives the screw attack item and the right side of Gold Chorizo. The left item requires power bombs or bombs. Even though they have space jumps, unfortunately they can't get that. And of course Morph Ball. But Morph can be at screw attack, Morph can be at the GT Supers location. But meanwhile, Azure going through Bubble Mountain, which I like this play. He knows that Polar Bear Bunny's going to be pretty close behind him, and she can flute up Death Mountain and check the east side while he does the little bit riskier play, but not too much. To go to Bubble Mountain without the Morph Ball, potentially orphan something here.
Got Nate checking out Agina's cave here. I'm resisting theirs to not just go, "Aye!" It's real hard. Dark World map check. Let's see here. Myers, Skullwoods, and Turtle Rock, I believe, were all pendants.
Yep, green pendant was Meyer. So that ice rod is required. It is a crystal. We need at least one medallion to get into Turtle Rock, maybe one for Meyer.
Wait, was pendant? I thought Turtle Rock was a pendant.
Or wait, sorry, Turtle Rock is a pendant. You're right. So we maybe don't need the ice rod. Maybe don't need the fire rod either if we get sword and bombos and lamp for everything else. That's potentially a really kind layout of dungeons for a quick seed, but depends on where all the required stuff is.
Yeah, I feel like SMZ3 loves to troll.
Yeah, with there being more items needed for the game, since there's 2 games put together, it just ups the chances of something needed in a terrible spot. Looks like a whole lot of nothing at Bubble Mountain. Azure went ahead and reset off out of the wave beam location. He took this nice save. That's a really good idea. Took the Bubble Mountain save, or sorry, the Business Center save, on the off chance that that did happen.
We do have Nate. He got that 300 from Mini Motorworm, and he's going to be checking Hobo, and then I assume heading up to Zora. So it eventually made sense to do that Houlihan play.
Yeah, we questioned it, but that worked out really well. I think with the timing of it being so early, it's always just okay to play a little bit safe early on. Get extra rupees, get extra bombs, get extra hearts and missiles, you know, just in case you need them. And of course, picks up 300 rupees from the hobo too, so end up not being necessary. But that's all right.
Sure. Unlike A Link to the Past randomizer, where you can bet you're going to find those 300s pretty easily, adding the extra 100 Super Metroid locations and really dilutes the ruby pool, I find. I think I said ruby instead of rupee.
There's a lot of red ones. They're basically rubies.
And I missed, what was it, Zora Ledge? I assume it was nothing, but since chat's not going crazy.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look at it either. One of our trackers saying it's a Quake medallion. Thank you. So
Oh,
that's unfortunate. They can't get that right now. I guess they maybe don't need it. It only unlocks pendant dungeons, so kind of a gross, gross thing to pick up.
speaking of gross, Zora with the ultimate scam today. 500 rupees and he will return your kindness with 1 rupee.
Yeah, not a very good investment. See a little bit of treading over what we've already seen. I think we saw Sahasrahla from somebody. It didn't look like anything good, but Nate possibly dipping into the front of Eastern Palace as well here. We haven't seen that yet. We're still looking for some Dark World access and Morph Ball to really open this game. Starting to run out of options.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's dipped into that Lure Norfair check yet.
It's a little bit rough with 3 hearts in particular. You have to dodge that bird, and if you get hit once, you're dead because he does 3 hearts of damage on green mail. So it's risky, and you don't have a sword, you can't defend yourself as a bunny. It is only 2 checks as well, but I imagine we'll see it pretty soon.
They don't call them murder dactyls for nothing.
Yeah, looks like both teams doing this Super Bunny check as well, which I like. Out of logic, but you're right here. You've got the mitts here on East Death Mountain. Almost no reason not to do it for 2 quick checks, and you get the free magic refill under one of the pots too, is always handy. Which is good, especially if you haven't done any dungeons yet, to get that refill after a crystal or pendant pickup.
First item in Eastern is just 3 bombs. Looks like
As you
PvP is
mentioned,
going to be making those the Lure Norfair check.
I like this. And I don't know if that was an intentional jump in the water, but that is a really good way to, if you can time it well, which unfortunately that second one was a little bit off, you can use the iframes of the jumping in the water to have the bird go right through you.
Yep, Polar Bear Bunny gets murder dactyled.
I think sometimes it's easier just to pretend like you're in Turian, you're trying to do the baby skip, and just have it circle around you.
Oop, she makes it in. I didn't think she was going to make it.
Looks like, I'm guessing Azure going to get his flute that he hasn't picked up yet as well. It doesn't look like anything so far in Eastern, unless I missed it.
Meyer was the Ether medallion, which hopefully we never find.
Okay. Get a quick little super farm here before entering GT.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Probably grabbing a little bit of health too for those 2 reserve tanks. Only 2 E-tanks isn't a lot. And Gold Trizo does a lot of damage. I don't know the numbers. Oh, okay. This surprises me, but I like it. Polar Bunny going through towards the like the Hadarubi missile area. I mean, they've got everything to put it in logic. Man, that's a spicy location for that Morph Ball, if that's going to be there. Or really any progression that leads to it. I like this.
Yeah, I would not want to. Oh, I would just probably be incapable of doing GT with these runners' loadouts. But I mean, they're obviously a lot better than me. But still, that's asking a lot to do GT with 2 E-tanks and 20 supers.
Yeah, once you get a good position to stand in, it's not too bad if you have a good visual cue. So once you're safe, you sit in that safe spot. And honestly, only having 15 missiles is a really a good thing, because you're gonna get GT stuck in the same attack by not filling up too many missiles, and it'll be a little bit easier to deal with. You get to farm nice and easy. Did we see all items out of Eastern before Nate took that death in the dark room?
I'm gonna have to see if chat was counting items, because I was not.
I know we got Link to the Past bombs. I'm pretty sure we saw one dungeon item, but we have Ice Beam at Fire Fleas, which is interesting because that doesn't actually do anything for us right now. But oh my gosh, and Plasma that is not accessible. That's a terrible place for Plasma.
Well, it's not great. Wow.
Well, it got way better because now Flubber Bunny can get it right now. And okay, I thought she was leaving. I was like, what is this? But never mind. Take back what I said. It's a wonderful place for Plasma because you get it right after your Morph Ball.
Man, what a place for a Morph Ball. This is... I feel like this is some big brain play.
Yeah, there wasn't much left, and it is kind of a big brain play, and I really like it, though. I really like the way that Pear did this, because Azure was getting his flute, making the assumption that it's going to be one of the few locations here in LN, or if not, the flute helps him go faster, instead of spending that time in a dungeon you know is a crystal and you can't complete. Because double dipping that crystal dungeon is pretty similar time-wise to double dipping Pink Brinstar, so it's not like you're losing out on much either way. You know, both are going to be a overall time loss. Get the one where you're going to get something that's going to help you go faster.
Yep, it's worth noting too that Polar Bear Bunny has remembered she has space jump.
Yeah, let's see. Her ammo is really bad for Ridley, but honestly, it's not too hard to get back here to Lower Norfair, so I think this is smart to leave and not try to scrounge up the last... Well, no, she's got Charge Ice Plasma, actually.
I would think it's the two, I would guess it's the two E-Tanks. Two E-Tanks Ridley is not fun.
Yeah, the 2 reserves, though, helps out a lot. I don't know.
That's true.
I'm a little surprised. But it is quick to get back to with the flute, so... And there's other things on path between, like, the Meyer area entrance and Ridley, you know, like the actual GT items that Azure's checking right now, and the, what's it called? Mickey Mouse.
Aster also has more supers. I think he has 35.
That's considerably better.
So we really need to see Plasma go Brrrr, make this Lower Norfair play.
I think pretty soon they're going to have to. Shadow's coming out from getting his flute. I don't know what else they have left. I don't think anything. I think they have to.
Very nice gate glitch there by Bunny on the first try. We'll see if Nate can successfully avoid the murder dactyl. And he does.
Very nice. Just going in the Meyer shed, even though he can't get the items like that, just to get rid of the tail. And charge Plasma means free Croc. Just takes 1 shot or 2 if for whatever reason he doesn't backpedal after the first one. I'm not sure what causes that, but sometimes it takes 2. Still a pretty quick fight. For Grapple, French Vanilla behind Croc. Yeah, Nate making his way over to the Hot Ruby Missile to get his Morph Ball. We'll see if he does Ridley after this. having a few extra supers above what Polar Bunny had might be a little bit more enticing for him.
And given the location of Plasma, and also already having charge, I would think all runners will pick up Plasma. It'd be silly to skip. Oh no, Nate!
No. That's unfortunate. He was about, he either did or was about to realize that he can't actually check that location. You can break through the blocks with screw attack, but you can't look at the item because it's just, you need to morph to pan the camera to the left. Luckily, it's, even though it's a time loss, it's easy to get through with screw attack, killing all these enemies. Oh, but he can't go back down. Yeah, he's going to be very quickly walled here, not be able to make progress.
Hopefully Shadow takes out GT here and then moves and heads over to the area where Morph Ball is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, can he go to Crocomire from here? Because he can't go through the lava spike room with the grapple blocks at the top.
I'm really uncomfortable with the fact that he just saved.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Because if he can't get...
So he can go... He can go through Croc Escape. Yeah, he can do Croc. And go through Croc Escape, but... There was nothing at Croc Escape, right? Pretty sure that was nothing. Uh-oh. And Shadow's stuck in this fast pillars, too. Man, this is so unfortunate for Plasma Go Brrrr.
We do have Astor heading down to do Ridley. With only one energy tank. And I don't think he has any reserves.
He might just not have anything in them. Maybe he hasn't turned them
That could
on
be.
or swapped them yet. But I think he'll be fine. I've seen Azure play this game a few times before. I think he's got this under control. At least with his super count and screw attack. Yeah, so we had just the grapple beam, I think, at Croc. Not a lot else there.
Blue mail at high jump boots. Nice.
That is
Not
nice.
needed, but nice.
And they can check a couple of these other Crocomire spots. Can't check Cosine Room. Is the big one that's going to hurt him here. Not that I think it was anything, but it's going to be rough to get back to later if necessary. If they're trying to clean up loose ends and have that one sitting around.
Alright, Shadow's gonna take another attempt here to get over to Worst Room. I'm gonna jinx it, but Asder so far taking 0 damage on Ridley.
Very nice fight. Alright, and Shadow gets through successfully this time. Well done.
Hopefully he skips the Mickey Mouse check that he can't do.
Half magic behind Ridley is really nice. That's a good, convenient find. Yeah, okay. At least Shadow bailed on that Mickey Mouse check after a few indecisive looking jumps.
Had to think about it a little bit.
So he'll get his Plasma, Ice Beam, and Morph Ball relatively soon. Meanwhile, I'm guessing Polar Bear Bunny finishes up. Well, no, never mind. I thought she was gonna do the ice beam checks, but going up to Kraid.
She just did Ice Beam and reset out of it.
Oh, she reset. Okay, I completely missed that. Thank you. I saw the green door. Figured that
Yeah,
was
I
the
think
next
she
step.
also reset out of the blue mail. I'm not 100% positive on that. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out when she goes back to Link to the Past, as long as we're aware of whatever that sprite looks like in Blue Mail. Because I think it was. I don't know that sprite. I'm not familiar with the character, but I know she has a blue dress for the green mail look. I don't know what the
I
blue mail looks like.
believe PBB is using Celas from Final Fantasy VI, I think is her sprite.
Okay. Some of the mail upgrades on these sprites are unintuitive. I know the Zero Suit Samus one that a couple of runners use goes from blue to orange to purple, and it's not necessarily obvious that blue is green mail.
Yeah, I can only think of that sprite in green mail. I don't know that I've certainly seen it in not green mail, but I couldn't even tell you what it looked like if you hadn't just said the colors.
Very nice Kraid quick kill, Polar Bear Bunny.
We do have Shadow heading down to take out Ridley.
Yeah, I like this. He's got even more supers than Azure. He's got a full 40. That's pretty ridiculous for how early in the seed these guys are. And the fact that we already have Charge Ice Plasma. And, of course, it's a seed like that where you get tons of ammo. You don't have to search for it. If you wonder where all the supers are that Polar Bear Bunny skipped, she's only got 20 still. Yeah, I definitely like this play from Shadow. Making his way out of Croc.
He actually reset out of Croc,
Or out
I
of the
believe.
reset.
Yeah. But of course,
yeah,
he's got to go back this way because he saved at the top of Lord Orfair's elevator, and he needs to, I think, go back to Business Center to flute back to Meyer.
right. Yeah, this is such a unique situation. It's hard to say what. Because he has to go back through this gate to get through the Croc escape area, since he can't go through the Frog Speedway, can't go up through Cathedral. Taking an energy refill. Oh wow, early Moon Pearl. Well, early-ish for how much of Super Metroid is open at Spazer. That's a big find. This game is just wide open now. Got a whole bunch of Dark World available.
And a whole bunch of Super Metroid still available.
And a whole bunch of Super Metroid. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Pear decides to split this up. We might see a fairly quick descent down this way from Azure to grab that Pearl, or we might see like a full clear wreck ship first. Who knows? Pretty good movement options for everywhere.
We've got a sword and Criterion Power Bombs.
That's our first sword. That's nice.
And I didn't see what was that X-ray, but it wasn't worth picking up.
Just Link to the Past bombs, but yeah, not worth getting. Another nice Ridley fight from Shadow Amp. And
I think Astor just got the Master Sword, maybe? Yep, he did at Moat. So that's 2 swords in a row for Astor.
Indeed. Did we see what was it, Lumberjack? Did any of our runners scout that item earlier?
Yes, it was, I want to say, a heart container.
Okay. Still a ways away from being able to get it anyway, but get closer.
I think we can say that Aghanim is dead. I don't think there's a way that he could be required.
There still could be if there's something at the
Pyramid Fairy?
Pyramid Ferry, yes, and there's no hammer available. There's ways around it, but logically, you would require hammer or Aganim being defeated to get to that item. With how much there's to do, though, it's not really a concern right now.
Absolutely. I would expect to see these runners probably clear out most of Super Metroid before they had to even think about heading back into A Link to the Past.
I absolutely agree with screw attack, space jump, like various suit. There's not really a whole lot of movement disadvantages. Things are missing in Super Metroid, but like no boots for Link to the Past, no hammer. You can't really full clear any of the crystal dungeons we have left, except for Thieves Town with that sword we just picked up. Well, no, it's not a full clear because no hammer. Might be leaving an item behind. Yeah.
And so many items I feel like on Super Metroid are kind of on the way to where you're going. Mine is kind of Brinstar.
Absolutely, yeah. I know I've heard people talk before about, considering certain parts of Super Metroid like crystal dungeons or pendant dungeons, make the comparison like the top of Wreck Ship is kind of a pendant dungeon because you can split halfway through and leave, but there are a bunch of items at the top too. Same with like Crocomire being like a pendant dungeon. There aren't quite as many of those. Alright, so Shadow Amp is leaving Lower Norfair. We'll see what he decides to do. They've already scouted, I guess, most of these Bowl Mountain areas and Croc, so yeah, you should be out of Norfair pretty quickly. Probably going to take on Kraid as well.
It looks like Nate's gonna go ahead and clean up Ridley while he's in the area. So at 40 minutes, we're gonna, well, a little over 40 minutes, we're gonna have 3 runners having Ridley dead.
Yeah, really odd how that works out. No crystals, no pendants. Only boss dead is Ridley. This is not common.
Asger taking the safety save. There was either in PBB missed it.
Oh, she fell down the
He fell down.
hole. That can be a tricky one sometimes, like especially if you're used to getting that item with like speed booster, for example, and then you go through and you don't have speed, and it's hard to time that jump. Like it's just if it's not in your muscle memory for the equipment you have, it's very awkward.
Yep, she's gonna go back for it, which I think is smart.
Going through this tunnel that I didn't know existed or didn't know where it led.
I forgot it was there until I saw somebody go through it, which I actually think it might have been PBB the other day.
Isn't the other tunnel like just like a dead end? Aren't there 2? I don't know how that works. But yeah, good thing she went back, because there's some flippers that we definitely need for Swamp Palace, and logically need for Ice Palace. And might need for that Quake medallion on the Zora Ledge, too. Kind of a 2-for-1 medallion.
That is pretty funny,
flippers,
yeah.
Get Quake.
Of course, Pear has not been to Zora yet, so they don't know that that Quake medallion is up there.
Good call.
There was 2 robots in the same pit right there. Don't think I've ever seen that before.
Nate's a little bit low on health for this Ridley fight.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
He's really red. It's hard to tell on other players' screens, but I know Ridley's close. I don't know if it's by 2 or 3 more shots. Oh, no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think he saved either, so he's gonna have to go back to Meyer and get that more. Oh, he did save. Oh, please tell me he didn't save. He's still not in Upper Norfair.
No, this is a right side save. So this is the one. This is the lower Norfair save. Right? Yeah.
Okay, phew. Looks like he's gonna say, "I'll come back and get you later, Ridley."
Yeah, that's a good call. He knows there's nothing behind Ridley. The bottle at Powerbomb's a shame. It could have something important, but that's the only thing down here that's necessary other than the boss completion and the stuff he's already got, so.
Yeah, and with having access to that Meyer portal, getting back to Ridley's not really that long of a trip.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe he'll have gravity and high jump boots and speed the next time to make it even better.
Azure picking up the Tempered Sword on his way to Wreckship Preserve.
Yeah, and nothing up there at the reserve, so nothing being left behind in Wreckship. First sword's really nice. Not required, but that might be a tough one. I don't think anything else the top of Wreckship, so Polar Bunny might be skipping that sword and hoping for one somewhere else, maybe putting off Wreckship entirely to a later time in case, to make that decision a little bit easier, you know. When she's there, she'll know, hey, there's no other swords. We're almost in Gomod, I'm getting that one. Or I got found tempered somewhere else, I'm skipping that one.
Yeah, waiting for the bowling cutscene's a little annoying, but it's not that long to go get an item in Upper Wreckship if you're not having to check everything else. So I could definitely see folks going and picking that up.
Yeah, if it just feels silly if it ends up being the difference between tempered and gold sword, because there's no way the gold sword is worth that.
Absolutely.
The tempered sword from Master is probably worth it, depending on number of hearts, mail upgrade, you know, whether you have half magic or not, silvers or not.
Well, I
all
think
those factors.
I think it's going to depend too on when she gets that way and how much of Link to the Past they've done. Because if you haven't done any Link to the Past, I think that Tempered Sword is hands down worth it. That said, my usual disclaimer: I suck at this game. Nobody should take my advice and do anything with it. There's a reason I'm not in this tournament, and it's not because I don't have any friends. Though that's also a bit of a problem. Womp womp.
Yeah, and like we were just saying, Polar Bunny is going to wait for a later time to get that sword, if she gets the sword at all. Just grabbing the Master Sword, that's a lot easier and a lot faster, and then heading down Red Tower. While Azure's doing Blueprint Star, it's a really nice division of locations. Meanwhile, on the left side, Plasma Go Brrrr finishing up Kraid checks and high jump checks. Then we'll probably see some divergence there. I'd like to see somebody probably take the portal out to Link to the Past and then reset back to the ship. I think if Nate did that, that'd be a good idea. And Shadow Amp could go either up Red Tower or back through Pink Brinstar, kind of the way Polar Bunny did, or even up Blue Brinstar. A lot of options.
Do you consider dipping Suitless Meridia?
No, not with what they have right now. We have Pearl and Mitts. We have Dark World access too, which with Blue Mail and 2 swords, or 3 swords in Azure's case, I would not consider that at all. We don't have high jump boots anyway, to put it in logic. But even with high jump boots, Suitless Meridia is so slow. It's really fun, but it's very slow. Yeah, I like this quick mushroom turn in from Nate. It's popping out to Link to the Past anyway. Try to get that fetch quest done. Early fetch quests tend to be really valuable, but not always, of course. They can be power bombs, like this time.
Looks like PvP is going to go ahead and after doing those top red tower checks, head over to Wreck Ship. I would expect to see Asder, after he's done with these retro Brrrr checks, go pick up his flippers. I believe flippers were... Oh, wow, mirror.
Okay, well there's one check in Swamp Palace available.
I was about to say flippers were the only thing of value outside of either medallion. But now we know we've got the mirror in Brinstar as well. Mirror is great to have, especially if you're going to be heading over pretty soon to that Thieves Town area, because you can do the Smith's chains so easily.
Yeah, that's a good point. With mitts especially, that's a good item to have. Boots makes it even better, because then you can do the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb with Graveyard Ledge on the north side of Dark World, as well as cleaning up the K45 and Smith Chain all in one little go. But we are starting to run a little bit thinner on Super Metroid checks.
We're also kind of starting to run thinner on actually required items that need to be collected in order to theoretically complete the game.
It's a good point. The hammer is the big one that's standing out that we still need, and the bow. What else is there? Could need the boots.
Yep, and we would need whatever would put Dragon in logic.
Yes, I would be willing to bet that I think all four of these runners can do some sort of suitless Dragon if necessary, but not with what they have. I couldn't imagine. Spring Ball helps out quite a bit. High Jump Boots helps out quite a bit. Potentially X-Ray. But yeah, that's probably last on the menu of what they're looking for.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we do have Polar Bunny skipping that sword. So she did opt to just do Wreck Ship, get it out of the way. Fantoon dead. Like, sword is dead. Hoping for the other one somewhere else to not have to do Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, I don't see any way that she comes back for that sword for any reason at this point.
Yeah, I don't either. Okay, Azure. Back to Gold Chorizo. Oh, he's mirroring and doing Desert Palace. He's got the mirror, of course. At least scouting out Desert Palace. Potentially clearable. Not clearable. No fire source. We need a fire source. Keep forgetting since the lamp isn't on our on-screen tracker, but they don't have the lamp. Fire Rod would suffice, but they need some sort of fire source to beat Desert and Ganon. Alright, so Plasmical Brrrr treading over some things we've already seen, but doing a nice job splitting up the checks they've got available with Shadow in Wreck Ship, and Nate clearing out Green Brinstar, and probably going to be going through Blue Bryn up after this.
Yep, Nate's about to get his Ether and then Flippers. See Shadow taking on Fantoon. As probably everybody knows, Fantoon is weak to super missiles, but if he does not die to a super missile, it makes him really, really angry.
Yeah. In this case, I don't think did any of our runners use the charge shots on Fantoon in place of Dopplers? I wasn't
don't
paying enough
believe so.
attention to Flipper Bunny's fight, but
I think everybody's used missiles.
yeah, you can use 4 missiles and then 1 charge shot to pretty much guarantee a 3-round Fantoon fight. A little bit easier one, a little bit less ammo intensive one.
I think Astor's gonna do Hera, or attempt to do Hera next. He's got, nope, never mind, scratch that. He's gonna go get his Moon Pearl.
Yeah, getting his Pearl from Spazer might do Kraid as well, while he's already going up this elevator. Both those would be solid decisions.
So I don't know where she found it, but Polar Bear Bunny turned in the mushroom for some power.
Nate turned that in. It was at the Norfair Reserve, the hidden item in the block.
Ah.
Yeah, he turned that in off after his reset. After he left Business Center the first time after getting his morph. Yeah, I don't know if we saw a Sick Kid from that other sort of fetch quest from LN.
I could swear that we did.
Okay.
Because I remember you I could swear I could remember you commenting on it. Unless I was confused and thinking you were talking about Sick Kid when you were talking about the mushroom instead.
That is very possible. I don't know.
I'm
There's a
easily
lot going on.
confused.
It's hard to follow.
It is. Astor opting not to take on Kraid at the moment. Astor also found Morph Ball bombs somewhere.
Kind of handy. You don't really do a whole lot, especially when you already have Screw Attack and Space Jump.
Yeah, I assume they were in desert. Checkerboard.
Checkerboard, thank you. Yeah, I saw that we had not a lot in desert, not boots locked.
And Astor showing us that Sick Kid was just a reserve tank. Very kind of him to answer the question whether or not it was something.
We're seeing our first look at some of these main Dark World checks. Poor Bunny dipping into Full Woods area. Which, I like this as it's a pendant. You can potentially not have to come back, knowing if you get both items out early, like you feel really good about not having this here. I don't know if she's got a boomerang. But we saw a boomerang somewhere, and that would be a nice way to deal with these mummies once you get a little bit out of position. This room sucks. No heck of a better way to put it.
This is definitely one of those rooms that I really like having the red cane for.
Yeah. It's a really cool room, and it's like in a NMG setting, it's one of my favorite. Skull Woods is my favorite dungeon, and that's one of my favorite rooms, but once it goes awry, it can be very obnoxious to try to reel it back in without a cane or something else.
Astor picked up the other mayo in the chest game.
That's a nice little spot for it. It's a good spot that you can pick it up easily if you need it, or if you want it. Hard to say no when it's that quick.
Indeed, it makes a big difference.
Thank you. One of our trackers confirming there is still an item in Desert Palace on Landmo, but just power bombs, the one we saw so far. All right, so let's see where Nate goes after his blue Bryn clear. We might see him do some Link to the Past checks. I would not be surprised. He's got the flippers. He's got the mirror. He's got... Does he have the pearl?
I don't believe they have
pearl.
found it yet.
Oh, that's... Okay, that's very unfortunate then.
And we've seen one item out of Skullwoods. It was a bottle. Pearl was in Spazer.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Nate go that way. I thought Shadow did, but I could be mistaken. I've definitely seen it at least twice.
I missed what was on Bumper Ledge. Just a heart container at the dig game.
Yeah, if Shadow has Pearl, I would assume that Nate's going to grab potentially his other, at least his Master Sword, and go down Red Tower. Maybe do the same thing that Polar Bunny did. Fantoon and leave. Maybe go get his Tempered even. And try to hit some Link to the Past checks. Yeah, I didn't see that Bumper Ledge either. I think it was a heart piece.
We're being told in chat that Shadow has the pearl, so that means they do know where it is.
Yeah, if he goes to the Dark World, we'll be able to tell right away whether he has it or not.
Graveyard Ledge was nothing.
Yeah, that's in the first part of the Smith chain too. The only problem with the Smith chain here is it leaves hammer pegs really isolated.
Yeah, but with the flute, it's not too hard to get back to the village with the flute and the gloves.
Yeah, I kind of like the choice too for Azure to wait on Thieves Town. You can do the Smith chain and then go back and do Thieves Town afterwards. Gives you more time to potentially find that hammer before Thieves, and then you don't have to come back for just hammer pegs if you find the hammer later, because you can do Thieves with it.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like PBB is gonna go pick up that red mail. And nothing at Cave 45, I'm guessing.
I think it was missiles.
Stumpy's got a heart container, or a heart piece rather, not even a heart container. Nate's taking on Fantoon now.
I like it. Nate's going with the charge shots. I like this strategy. It's hard to get a 2-round Fantoon with Dopplers. It's very difficult. This is, if you're kind of assuming going into this fight, unless you're like one of the tops in this game, kind of assuming you're going to get a 3-round, maybe 4-round. He's just going for the guaranteed sure thing with that 3-round fight.
Purple chest was just a reserve tank, so I think that's all 4 reserve tanks.
Reserve tanks, and I don't think anyone has more than 4 E-tanks yet, do they?
It's a good question. Nate gets Fantoon down. Asder's checking Hype Cave, which will probably be nothing. It's a bug net. And a Bombos.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about medallions, which is bittersweet since we have 2 medallion locked pendants.
Oh, see, I would say it's even worse than bittersweet. It's uncomfortable.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because now you can dip Mire pretty deep, and you can at least dip a little bit into Total Rock.
Yeah, and with Bombos, we can also dip Hammerless Ice Palace, which is everybody's favorite.
Ugh.
Sure is mine. And a Hammerless Swamp Palace, which doesn't require Bombos, but that looks like where Asher's going right now. Which I like. You're getting to the point where most of your checks are terrible, so maybe get the terrible one that's nearby out of the way while you're nearby.
Yeah, and it's a pretty quick check, all things considered. Yeah, I'm curious how much longer until Plasma Go Brrrr dips into Link to the Past.
I think right now they're just crossing over what the other has done. Shadow's getting his mirror and flippers and ether. Nate's going down to get his pearl, and I think that's when they both hit Link to the Past. I think they're out of checks, or at least reasonable checks at that point in time.
Yeah, and as chat's pointing out, Asder found that red cane in the first check of Swamp.
Wow, that's a big find. That definitely makes... That kind of makes Ice Palace better. I was gonna say it definitely does, but you're gonna get stuck on the right side if you Icebreaker, which is still, it's a quick couple checks, and you can mirror back to the front of the dungeon. Maybe grab the items out of there so you know, potentially get all the items out and only go back for the crystal on Cold Stare, but it's still not great.
So far, Thieves Town has been a big bust. I do not know if there's an item in the big chest.
I don't know. I know there's not a small key in the big chest.
That is all that I know as well.
PvP has the small key. Yeah, we got a pod dip from Asher. I don't know if we'll see him mimic clip or use a potion to get to the right side if it does end up being an early bubble-locked pod here. It feels like such a long way to go to get locked out at one item to not just push through anyway.
He did buy a potion, so he also has the option of potion glitching if he wants to.
Thank you. Yeah, that's potentially why. I know I like to get the green potion from the waterfall fairy. And if I get early half magic, I get it for the sole reason of doing this potion glitch.
Yeah, the funny thing would be if he hadn't found that red cane, he would have no way to use his magic.
He had Ice Rod.
Oh, good point. I forgot.
And the medallions, of course. That's a very cool way to do it. No, you're right, though. They're very limited options. Ooh, another nice crate quick kill. I didn't see if Shadow got the crate quick kill. I know Bunny and Nate got it. Very well done. It's extra quick when you don't even have to check the item behind it, too, because your partner already told you it was nothing, so Nate just dips right out the front door as soon as he's done.
I think this will be our first check of the Meyer shed. Chat letting us know that Shadow did not get the quick kill. Wow, 20 arrows. What a shed. Looks like PBB might be taking some time to go and take care of Ridley. Which I like. Let Asder find find the progression while you catch up.
Yeah, I would say the only other thing that I would maybe emphasize before this is going up to Tower of Hera, clearing that crystal dungeon, and Polar Bunny can maybe do the hookshot cave checks as well. But otherwise, I think the Bear Pair is down to a bunch of really bad hammerless checks. So trying to catch up on progression being Ridley that she doesn't have down yet is a nice way to do that while Azure clears out some of those bad checks.
And Mickey Mouse Room was just 20 rupees.
Oh yeah, that is a new check for them too, so there is that at least. There's also at least one new check. Yeah, for Plasmical Brrrr, we've got Dark Death Mountain check by Nate. I like this nice item dense spot. We haven't seen Hookshot Cave yet, and they don't have information on that third medallion. They've only seen 2 of them, so getting a look at TR is good information at this point for them. Is Bombos the one they don't have or don't know about?
There's an X-ray scope in Hookshot, an energy tank in chest number 2, super missiles in number 3, and a heart container in number 4.
Okay, a couple nice things. I don't foresee Shadow going out of his way for any of that, and likewise with Bear Pair, whoever doesn't check that first is probably not going to get those items. But someone will get to microwave Dragon. Always a good feeling.
I love the microwave beam. Please do take a minute and give these 4 guys all a follow. They're putting on an exciting show for us. This is some very high level play we're seeing. I'm sure they would all appreciate it if you took some time to give them all follows. Big shout outs to our 2 trackers, one of which whose name I'm about to butcher, Maidwa Kurd and Epi37. They're both doing an awesome job tracking. Give them a follow, and apparently I just missed the hammer.
Yeah, hammer here in Tower of Hera that Nate just grabbed. So that's a big find for Plasmico Brrrr. That's really good since they've been kind of trailing since that issue getting that morph ball. Save out on some efficiency here and there.
Yeah, especially if it ends up that there's something in, say, the Thieves' Town Big Chest. It may be a long time before Bear Pair gets back to that. And just to finish my plug, please also give a follow to my co-com, Ace0. Having a great time co-comming with him, and I'm sure he'd appreciate a follow.
Yeah, thank you.
I think this is our first time comming together.
It is. And I'm having a good time as well. It's good to see an interesting race as well. That's a pretty sparse menu on Nate's side. He's got like a little ring in the center when he paused.
Man, Modorn's being especially trolly. It's bad enough to have to kill him with the hammer, but then when he stays in the super narrow part.
Oh yeah, you never want him on the left side. Simultaneous boss explosions. Pulver Bunny and Nate. See, and Pulver Bunny got through that Ridley fight with only taking like 1 E-tank full of damage, so she would have been fine with her 2 E-tanks earlier.
Looks like Shadow's gonna go ahead and, I assume, grab that hammer right away.
For sure, that gives them... No, they don't have the Bombos yet. That was Hype Cave?
Yes.
I imagine they'll check that soon. Actually, Oh, Nate's going to do Ridley right now. I see. Okay, that's a good play. I like that. He's going down to do Ridley, while Shadow can get his hammer and then scout ahead some of the overworld, probably Hype Cave. A little surprised Nate's getting these morph bombs. Shadow picked them up, and they're not necessary with the amount of power bombs that he's got.
I was just gonna say the exact same thing. we seem to be experiencing some temporary technical difficulties.
Sounds like a Harapot setup. Sounds like you got it. Good job.
Yep, I was gonna say, sounds like a successful Harapot.
Yeah. Only a couple menu buffers.
Sounds like he's using sword spins. And sounds like he got Mold Arm.
So once we get things back up and running here, interesting to see where Shadow's going. I would like to see him go to Hype Cave, since that hasn't been checked in. So quick to get there with that flute and hammer.
Apparently we've unlocked the hard mode of commentating.
Yeah, so far no real hard logic in the seed. Just for us, I guess.
Or that Hype Cave, judging by the sound effects, I think.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Really, the Bombos might steer Plasma Gober and Shadow Amp specifically into Ice Palace. Otherwise, they don't have a lot of grade checks. I guess Thieves Town is fully clearable there too, and they haven't touched that yet. That'd be a smart play.
I do see him in Hype Cave. Wait, Ridley?
And looks like some indecision from Azure, deciding where to go, what to do.
I am surprised. I mean, I guess Asder has the mirror, so I am surprised he's not doing that Hera play.
Yeah, me too. It's especially since it's a crystal dungeon. I mean, there's a good handful of checks here at Zora that haven't been done yet, so this makes sense too. But going into bowless, hammerless pod.
Looks like PvB is gonna take care of the Hera check, hopefully.
Oh, there were silvers there. Did we see those earlier?
I don't think so.
It's a waterfall fairy. I thought the Plasma Gober checked the Zora checks. They did Hobo, and they did Zora, but they didn't have Pearl to do the waterfall cave. That's right. They fake flippered and did just the Hobo and Zora. It's coming back to me. Just like the stream, it came back up.
And Nate has murdered Ridley.
Oh yeah, Shadow can take his hammer and just go straight into Swamp Palace. Get his cane, which is really nice.
And PvB has picked up the hammer. Asder finds the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, it's amazing how much that one extra super pack... Actually, Polar Bunny had one extra super pack on her second visit to LN as well, just like Nate. Makes a very big difference. And a couple extra E-tanks so you don't have to sweat too much.
Asder about to get his ripoff.
Yep, and not grabbing the Quake Medallion?
Well, we know it's not necessary. I don't think they know that, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They have seen the Meyer entrance, of course. I don't believe they've seen Turtle Rock yet.
Just gambling that even if it is Quake, that they don't need to do Turtle Rock. I guess that's understandable.
Yeah, I suppose co-op de-risks that a little bit more, and the fact that the silvers are there, because I don't see Polar Bear Bunny skipping those silver arrows, being limited by the sword that she's not going to get already. So maybe their thinking is, you know, if we need this item, Polar Bear Bunny can go get the silvers, grab the Quake, and go into TR and scout and try to find whatever we need. Gives even more chance that that's not needed. Or needed from Ashter right now.
So we're
nothing in Swamp yet, right? Except for that cane that Pear got out of that first chest.
unless there was a lamp in there, but I don't think we've seen the lamp yet.
No, I saw rupees and E-Tank. Heart piece. I don't think we've seen the map or compass yet out of Swamp either. It could be a really kind Swamp layout where those are both on the left and it's skippable.
Yep, we're looking for bow and a fire source and some kind of combination of items that gets them Dragon, which isn't necessarily gravity suit. Although I imagine they all would prefer gravity suit.
Yes. There is a potential that one or more of our runners isn't familiar with how to get out of Dragon without it. One of the things I love so much about this game is that there's so many skills and tricks and different strategies you need to learn that everyone has their weak spots, everybody has their knowledge gaps, and sometimes it's something that you might think is really easy, but someone else just doesn't know it. And I'm often surprised by what others, sometimes that are, I would say, much better than me at the game, just don't know. And that could be the case for one of these players and that Dragon escape.
Yep, well, we saw Polar Bear Bunny doing Tower of Hera. She did not Herapot, so I assume she does not know how to Herapot.
Yeah, well, she had the big key, and there was an item in the big chest. If you're still looking for items and you have the big key, it's not substantially faster. If it takes you a couple attempts on average to get that Herapot, it ends up being slower. If you get it first try, it's always going to be faster. So maybe something she's capable of, just not necessarily comfortable doing really quickly.
Yeah, chat's talking about this. I see Asdar running into the wall a lot. I'm not sure if he's having controller issues, if he's just talking to Polar Bear Bunny and not paying attention to what he's, doing. They could be discussing strategy or something.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. It's so hard in co-op to keep things straight and play the game well. I think it's harder in co-op than in like a single player seed to like actually execute well, just because there's so much more going on that your brain has to process, and it can be very easy to think about 2 steps ahead, or you're talking to your partner about where they're going, where you should go next, and you stop paying attention to what you're doing. If I had to wager a guess, I would guess that's what's happening to Ashter, but you're right, could be some kind of mechanical failure or controller issues or something too.
Could be his cat standing in front of his Wi-Fi adapter. I don't know if Asdar has a cat. We do have Shadow doing left side swamps, so he must have gotten at least the map or the compass. I would hope.
Yeah, I think I saw the map. I did miss at least one of these checks though, so I don't know if you got both dungeon items.
I've got a real knack for paying attention to the wrong stream at the wrong time. So left side was 2 items, but it was junk.
Yeah, but this still a decent amount of time left in the seed. Still a handful of things we're missing. Pretty likely that Polar Bunny goes ahead and does the same checks on the left side after she does the back.
It's kind of funny you were talking about, I think, Nate having a very sparse Zelda menu. Asder has like a pyramid in his menu.
Shadow's going to... It's like catfish. Have we seen the pyramid ledge?
We
check?
have not.
It surprised me a little bit that Shadow's going this way to catfish instead of stopping by the pyramid on the way. It is a little bit faster to do it the way he's doing it, but it orphans that location. And without the bow to get the second red crystal and try to get some efficiency there, doing the pyramid fairy and the ledge at the same time, this could be
He might walk back to do pod and check it on his way back to pod.
Yeah, I don't like that. If he's gonna go do pod next, I would wager he would just mirror and flute to 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a lot of walking otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he's gonna find his silvers at least.
Right, and maybe pick up that... Oh no, they've seen the Bombos medallion on Turtle Rock. They don't need Quake. They know they don't need Quake. Actually, you know what would be really smart? Is if Shadow takes this Whirlpool back over to Ice Palace. That'd be a really heads-up play that I just thought of, and he's probably already thought of and going to do that, and that's exactly why he did what he's doing here. Because that's a little bit faster than the flute.
Yep, that's a smart decision. Good thinking. Ooh, wave beam and ice. So that's the full beam combo.
Definitely nice. Definitely nice to have for a little bit extra damage on Mother Brain.
And you were right, PBB is going back for that left side swamp items.
Yeah, there's just too much left to wager that there's nothing there that you need and press on. Maybe if it were a solo seed, but co-op, you're scouting that information for 2 players, so it almost makes it more valuable.
Yep, and we haven't talked about this really, but for anybody who's watching, the way the tournament is ruled is it is both runners on the team have to finish, and it's whichever team finishes the fastest with both runners. So it's not who finishes first on the team, it's really who finishes second that determines the team's time. So there's no advantage to having, say, one runner finish very quickly. You really want to finish as close together as possible.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a good point that we haven't really talked about a whole lot, but we have seen some plays that appear to be maybe a little bit slower off the bat, but if one player is ahead by a little bit more, or has more crystals, more SM bosses, it might be a good idea just to clear out those really out-of-the-way bad checks. And maybe you get lucky and find something good there anyway, or if not, you rule it out and your partner can rest easy knowing there's nothing there.
I see the question in chat, where is the lamp? I've been wondering that myself.
And the bow was here in Ice Palace. I totally missed it. But Azure got the bow, and I'm guessing Shadow's going to get it pretty soon as well.
So, barring a few edge cases, all we're really looking for is a fire source. And there's 2 of them out there.
Yeah, I'm guessing that at least one of our forerunners would really prefer the lamp. It might be somebody's favorite item, Link to the Past.
Which runner is that their favorite item?
That'd be Polar Bear Bunny. She's a big fan of the lamp. But definitely capable of all the dark rooms. Can do it without. And I think Nate and Polar Bear Bunny would both really like to get another sword somewhere too. Because Master Sword Ganon is just slow. Like, even if you're really good at it, it's very slow. Half magic helps a lot. At least if you have a cape.
Yep, at least we do know where those silvers are. So you don't have to do at least phase 4 with the Master Sword.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would prefer to do Tempered Sword, no silvers. Myself definitely included in that list. But it's better than nothing.
I'll sign up for the Butter Sword silvers list myself.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice way to do it too. As long as you get the fight done and Ganon dies and you don't, that's the important thing.
Polar Bear Bunny picking up 2 blue potions. I wonder where she's off to.
I imagine she's going to Ice Palace. Yeah, to get that bow, that opens up a lot, with Eastern and Pod both being crystals.
We've got Asder taking that, following that bow directly to Eastern.
Yeah, they haven't checked Eastern yet, so this will be a full clear for Bear Pair. We did see at least one item. I know that first chest was an item. I don't know if we saw 2
I believe we
items.
saw 2.
I think we saw 2, but they both weren't anything good. Because Nate dipped it very early on 3 hearts, green mail, like pretty much no items whatsoever for any kind of darkroom navigation or safety, and took a death. Shadow also following that bow into Pod, which they haven't touched Pod yet. Plasma go Brrrr, so this will be good for them. And they can mirror afterwards into Eastern Palace.
Yep, Nate showing us the hammer pegs is just missiles, so no big loss to Bear Pair there. Polar Bear Bunny skipping the wave beam. Oh, never mind. I was at the wrong chest. She picks up that wave beam. Okay, good.
Yeah, depending on ammo count, it's not really a huge deal to have wave beam at this point, but it is nice. I know for some people it makes the Zeb skip significantly easier. There's more options of how you do the Zeb skip with wave beam. If you learn it without wave, you can just do it the same way every time, which is kind of nice. But I know I personally find the wave beam setup a little bit easier.
Bear Bunny having a little bit of trouble with the ice physics here. Ice physics, the worst physics in any game.
Yeah, the real trouble is the key routing here, the key layout. So she wanted to go to Ice Tea to get that bow, but did not grab an extra key from... I don't know where the small keys are. There's one under the rock on the right side that she picked up, and then there's this one under the pot she's about to encounter. If there was one in a chest that was more accessible, that would have been a slightly better option. But I think she just didn't realize she needed one until it was too late, and kind of waffling, trying to figure out what's the best way to fix this and get my key. She did buy some potions, so she should be okay to use a potion before or during the Cold Stare fight, if needed.
We got Astor on the Armos Knights. We'll see if he picks up anything off these guys. Just a heart piece, and Polar Bear Bunny picks up her bow in the big chest of ice.
Bow's the big chest. Big key was an iced tea, right? A little bit more circuitous. I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle to have to go all the way to iced tea just to get the big key, but gotta have that bow.
And as we see all these dungeons, I guess Azure's headed to probably Swamp Palace just to get his progression here.
I'm confused why he didn't do pod.
I am a little bit as well. I think he
had a portal.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah,
oh, he's just pushing item checks. Okay, this kind of makes sense. I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with the decision, but I do see the thinking here. He's got Pyramid Fairy available with Eastern cleared, so he's pushing the item checks to try and hit go mode as fast as possible. The faster their team's in go mode, the better everything is, which I do agree with. Especially if there's no item on Helmasaur King, which I don't know if that's the case or not, but if that is the case and Azure knows that, then just a little bit inefficient. As you mentioned though earlier, Eleanor, it is the first team to finish, or rather last to finish, that matters the most. So if one player is way ahead at the end, it doesn't really help, even though the team's average time goes down. That's not really the metric for who wins. So if he ends up being ahead by a lot, we'll just go back to pod later.
Ugh, high jump in the book. Gross.
Yeah,
that puts both Bombos and Ether in logic.
Have we seen Spike Cave?
We have not seen Spike Cave.
Okay. That's something. Something of a consolation prize. We can pair Ether with Spike Cave and get something else out of it.
I'm curious where PBB's gonna head next. I kind of think she's gonna head for pod. I do think that you bring up a good point though. Whether if there's an item or not on Helmasaur, I think determines a lot. Oh, she's gonna go grab her silvers. That makes a lot of sense.
No, absolutely.
We've got Nate taking on Argus, aka Fantoon, before he died. Did Astor skip the Pyramid Ledge? That's a great question that I think the answer is yes. Which makes me wonder if maybe him or Polar Bear Bunny checked it and we missed it.
That is very possible that we had the technical difficulties, that somebody might have checked that.
And PvB is heading to Pod Easter. Looks like Astor's gonna head to Meridia. He's got those high jump boots now.
Yeah, high jump puts... I mean, this is in logic, not Dragon. I imagine if he's going in this way, he's going to start with Dragon anyway, just to get the progression. But it is logically required in some cases that you access this from the back. it's overall just a little bit faster to do a lot of this from the back. I guess we'll see if he does Dragon. It could go either way. He doesn't have the grapple, so that's not great for a Dragon kill, Sueless.
Yeah, he'd have to X-ray climb out, or does he have another option?
Yeah, I think he'd have to get a flash suit and then X-ray climb out to the following area without grapple or spring ball. It's difficult and not really that quick. I mean, the flash suit is very efficient. It stores a shine spark, so you can just use it in either the Dragon room or the following room to make it up. Another crystal down for Shadow as he finishes up Pod. It's like Nate grabbing his silvers before going into Ice Palace as opposed to the way out. I don't know that it makes much of a difference. Because here he's saving the mirror portal, but he does have the extra whirlpool trip. I think it's a pretty close to a wash time-wise. Yeah, it just comes down to where's that fire source?
Yeah, what a kind of weird go mode item.
Yeah, it's not always weird to have like a go mode fire rod, but the fact that it could also be a lamp and it gives us the same exact level of go mode is very unusual. We do still have a handful of checks left, like, for example, Misery Mire is fully clearable, provided there is no big key or item on the left side. So I guess that's not really fully clearable in most cases, but it could be that we can get both items and the boss done.
Polar Bear Bunny shot about 20... Okay, that's an exaggeration. She shot about 10 arrows into that, whatever the one-eyed creature is, Igor. And before it finally woke up and she killed it.
Yeah, this Eastern Dark Room is pretty iffy. That stupid pot at the end that has the small magic underneath it it's offset from the wall just enough that you can't be aligned with that top wall and pick it up. So it's sometimes really difficult to grab that pot and make it through the door, especially if you're getting bullied by the Igor on the left that doesn't have the key.
Now I know why I always die.
Yeah, you have to like get in the top left corner where that pot is, then you slide down just a little bit, and then you can pick it up from the side. Otherwise, it doesn't let you pick it up. Very, very weird. And I didn't see... Oh, there's a gold sword. Gold sword at the left hand. Yep. So... that could be worth for Polar Bear Bunny to grab. Yeah, I could definitely see her grabbing that sword as tempered. Same with Nate. Provided Shadow scouts that out and knows where it is. I wouldn't expect Nate to continue searching if they're, say, in go mode. And he's in Meridia after Dragon, but for Bunny, I could see that. Get the Dragon kill, go through the sand pit and grab that sword that you know is there, then come out at Business Center to Death Mountain. Unless there's something else in Meridia that's needed. Which is kind of looking like there is. It's the most dense location left. Item-wise.
As they're turning off Plasma in favor of Spazer. Didn't want to kill the crab, I assume.
Yeah, you can accidentally double hit the crab with Plasma, and then it freezes, then dies immediately after. It's not very helpful.
So far, Meridia's been, aside from that sword, a pretty big bust.
Yeah, there's so many checks in Meridia, and it's just such a big place that there's still a lot to go. It's kind of a double-edged sword. There's so many things here. I just said it was the most dense area left, which it is, but also it's just so big, so there's also going to be a bunch of garbage. Alright, looks like we're going to get that Pyramid Fairy check from Shadow Amp as well. He'll be getting his high jump boots and book. I'd be kind of interested to see maybe a Turtle Rock dip, Ether Tablet check, Spike Cave check. Although I don't know if we've seen any safeties yet for Spike Cave, any Cape or Arcane of Burna. Have we seen those?
I don't think so. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Total Rock dip, just because without that Fire Rod, you're likely to get locked out so quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And you know you're not going to have to go back once you get Fire Rod. Well, unless you need that gravity suit. But you pretty much know you're not going to have to come back with Fire Rod later and double dip it, because if you have the Fire Rod, then what are you doing in your pendant dungeons? You're in go mode.
Just a red rupee on the Pyramid Ledge. Ooh, Astor finds the magic powder at Mama Turtle.
That's kind of a gross find, because you can't quite bail on these Meridia checks. You've got to finish them up. Although that is the last one. I missed the Crab Supers. Did we look at that yet?
I don't think we've seen that yet. Yeah, judging by his map, I think the answer's no.
Okay.
Yeah, just to follow up what Maid said in chat, I do not believe Astor has done pod.
Yeah, I think he did everything but Helmasaur King.
Yeah.
And I forgot to check when Shadow Imp did it to see if Helmasaur King had an item or not. But I guess we'll find out from Nate pretty shortly. It certainly wasn't a fire source. Although that also explains why Azure maybe didn't want to do the backup pod. Not having a fire source is kind of slow. Especially even if it was an item. It limits, it can only be one of the two fire sources, and it's significantly easier and faster with one, so.
Yep, Mambo's tablet was just a red rupee. You see that on Shadow's side.
Yeah, and then Shadow also making the trip over here to Meridia. I definitely understand it. I personally probably would try the Turtle Rock dip first, but it's hard to say. If you're of the mindset like that you never ever want to do Suitless Meridia because it's slow, you can get burned really badly. But if you jump into Suitless Meridia too frequently, it is very slow and you can get burned too, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're in the mindset to never do Suitless Meridia, you joined the wrong tournament. Since in theory, Suitless Meridia should be required in at least some of these seeds. I don't think it was required today, because I don't think we've saw anything unless it's on that magic powder.
Yeah, I don't think so. There is one place the gravity could be that Azure did not check, and that is Shack Tool.
Good point.
Could be gravity to get us into Aqueduct. Or if Spring Ball was out there somewhere, I think that also lets you out of Shack Tool without grav. And it could be something else.
And Helmasaur just had the map.
I guess they're not really looking for gravity. Okay.
Hasdor making
nicely done though
quick work.
Sorry, yeah, that definitely another quick kill. I was gonna say, nicely done from our runners that have done the backup pod without a fire source. That is not easy. The RNG of those turtles, you have to know where they're probably going to be and how to handle them, and then if they're not where they're expected to be, you have to react, and it's no fun.
PBB making the mire dip, I think.
I like it. Mire and TR are, I guess they're about the only things they've got left, but
Yeah, I could, and I would not be surprised to see Astor take the exit here at Business Center and go over to TR.
yeah, for sure. I would expect that as well. He will likely check the ether tablet first. Yeah, Mire's nice here because it could potentially spit you out early as well, just like Turtle Rock could. If the big key is over there on the left side, fire locked, you know you don't have to do the back of the dungeon.
And the ether tablet has for us 3 bombs. It's sort of fire.
Almost.
It'd be pretty cool if you could put a bomb on, like a torch to light the torch. I don't know whether that would actually work or not, but
Bombos always kind of feels like it should work on the torches, you know, like any Ocarina of Time fans. It's kind of like Din's Fire. It works on torches in that game. Why not this one?
I'd get behind Bombos lighting torches.
And so, other than these pendant dungeons, what do we have left, Eleanor?
That's an excellent question that I don't know. I can't think of anything besides Turtle Rock.
Like the magic powder.
Oh, that's right. Yep, magic powder.
Shadow thinking about grabbing that gold sword, or maybe just moving over to see the second item. Nice job getting out of that water, though. Even with space jump, that's pretty tricky to do. But yeah, I can't think of anything else either.
We've seen the Thieves Town Big chest on. I think Nate did it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Plasma Go Bird did do hammer pegs. It was missiles, if I recall.
Was right.
So PBB dipped out of Mire. I assume she didn't find anything, and I assume the big key was locked behind a fire source.
Yeah, all I saw were keys and a map. She might have found one item that I missed, but it certainly wasn't a fire source. Otherwise, she would not be going to Turtle Rock right now. Shadow gets that jump. That is like one of the worst jumps in Sulis Meridia. Getting up through that gap.
I was kind of hoping for a green pendant fire source.
I mean, there could be a green pendant fire source. No, there can't.
Well, I think there could. I just don't think we'd ever know about. I think it could be the fire rod,
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
but obviously we'll never know.
You're right. Ped certainly can't be a fire source. Since we need both lamp and fire rod for Turtle Rock.
PBB doing the paw pull for luck. Which, I mean, I think it's got to be in here.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be that powder.
Yeah, powder. Or, like I said, if gravity is at Shack Tool and it's an aqueduct.
There it is. Lamp in the
Okay.
first chest in Turtle Rock. That's go mode. Well, is that go mode? Because they need.
Here.
Can they do Dragon with what they have?
Yeah, that is suggesting to me that is not the case. Otherwise, I think Polar Bear Bunny would leave. Well, she's got to leave Turtle Rock either way, because she doesn't have a fire rod or a small key. So you definitely have to mirror. I think you'd finish up Desert. And then, I don't know.
Yeah, is she gonna do Spike Cave?
Looks like it, farming these bushes for hearts and fairies.
I think she has 2 blue potions.
That sounds right. I see at least one there, so that's good. One should be enough, especially with hookshot, giving you a little bit of extra movement for each of those first couple hearts. One might not be enough. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, she's good. Yeah, there's our first fire source. Almost 2 hours in. Front of Turtle Rock. Fire rodless Turtle Rock. A pretty terrible spot.
Yeah, that's. I feel like, and this, this is my own bias from the seeds I have run, but I feel like Turtle Rock has really been having a lot of stuff in it recently.
It's, you know what it is if Turtle Rock is a crystal, it's got nothing. If it's a pendant, it's got something. That's what I've been noticing personally, but of course, just our seeds don't determine everything. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Eleanor. It seems to have a lot lately.
I was about an hour into a seed yesterday, and I kept, where is Morph Ball? And finally, I was just like, I'm just gonna look at the spoiler log, and sure enough, Morph Ball in Turtle Rock, because everybody loves Morph Ball in Turtle Rock.
You know, as long as it's different every time and unpredictable, that's what I like.
Alright, so PvB heading to the back of desert.
Yeah, I very much like this.
Astor heading into Meyer?
If they're looking for that gravity suit, or potentially spring ball, there's no reason not to check Meyer, because I think if Polar Runny didn't get any items out, that means there's 2 in here that are fire locked, plus the green pendant turn in. So that makes a lot of sense. Even if she only got 1 item out, there's still an item in here, plus the green pendant. And I'm guessing we just missed the powder turn in, because I feel like we would have seen that. I feel like that would have been done earlier. If you dip into Sueless Meridian and get the magic powder out, it's hard to not check it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, though. I'm surprised. Chat saying that it has not been checked, so I wonder if that's just he's forgotten about it.
Yeah, and a good point too that boots might be required as well. So this isn't necessarily full go mode yet, even for those willing and able to do suitless Dragon with this level.
Oh wow. Gravity suit on Landmo.
Well, there it is.
Yep, and Aster says I'm out.
Oh, of course. Good thing he's right next door, so it's a quick little walk over. And
There is still a chance, like you said, that boots may be required for GT. There is also a chance that the fire rod may be logically required, but I don't expect that to slow our runners down.
yeah, I will if it's needed. It'll definitely slow them down because doing that room with just lamp
Fair
is
enough.
very slow.
You're right. You are definitely correct. It is very slow to do right side GT with just the lamp. PBB's a little lost, I think.
Oh, nice dodge on that bird. Okay, I think she's trying to decide how she should tackle Meridia, or if she should tackle Meridia, or go to GT first. I think I like this play. In her situation, I think it makes a lot of sense for Clover Bunny to go to Meridia, do Dragon, and get that sword, so she has tempered for GT, especially bootless. Master Sword GT climb without boots is pretty rough, and I think people underestimate the amount of time saved that boots, and without them, that third sword yields. Looks like she's gonna do Meridia from the front, which is kind of surprising since she was already in the Dark World in front of the Hype Cave area. Although no boots means that's a lot of walking on the overworld to get there, so... I think this is still slower, but probably feels faster because you're moving faster through all these screens. Alright, so... Cosmic Brrrr is running out of their options as well.
What looks like Nate. Actually, I don't think he's done Total Rock yet.
I don't think so either. I'm more confused by why... I thought Shadow did these first checks in Desert. Maybe not. Maybe they haven't been in Desert yet. Or he's just grabbing the big key. Okay, he grabs the big key. Did he get his lamp?
He must have gotten his lamp while we weren't looking. Nate got the lamp, chat says.
Okay, and Shadow's just looking for that gravity suit then. Alright. And we'll be pleasantly surprised and get to leave Meyer exactly the way Asher did as soon as Landmo is killed on Nate's side. Okay.
That's funny how they're gonna mirror each other.
I know, it's been the whole game like this. And it keeps being the top two and the bottom two are matching on the same things. The swords they're missing because of the way things worked out. The early game down to Brinstar and back up the climb, that literal side-by-side, like...
PBB making quick work of Botswoon.
Very nice. No microwave, unfortunately. She didn't get the X-ray out of Hookshot Cave, but that's fine. Still a pretty quick fight with all the beams. See, I think...
Let's see here, 3, 2, okay, it took about 3 seconds for Shadow to be like, nope.
Yep.
So it's worth taking a look at here and seeing who is in the lead here.
Yeah. I think Polar Bunny is in the lead. The sword advantage is pretty big for Azure and Shadow Amp. That's a pretty marked time save through a lot of GT and Ganon. But I still think Polar Bear Bunny is a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out whether Asder is ahead of Shadow and Nate.
I don't know. It's so hard to tell just because the differences in equipment, the differences in skills and particular skills, you know, like Azure is a pretty good low percent Link to the Past runner. Like he's very familiar with that. So like not having boots for GT, not having like a lot of safeties is fine. You know, he doesn't need a. I guess you get boots in low percent still. I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, so Nate and PBB are pretty close, but I think that PBB has the edge of the other 3 runners.
Yeah, well, I mean, if she goes to get the sword, that's going to be not a time loss, but perceived time loss because she's on her way out of Meridia right now. Going to take a bit of a detour leaving to get that sword. I would personally do that. I think it's worth it. It looks like she is as well by going west instead of east towards the Link to the Past portal. She got Speed Booster. Where did... Speed Booster was a Dragon, wasn't it? Well, that's nice.
That definitely makes going back for that sword a lot quicker.
Yeah. I saw it and I didn't like think about it because we didn't need it. It wasn't important until I saw her running and was like, wait a minute.
I hate getting these items without Spring Ball. I'm terrible at this jump right here. Polar Bear Bunny makes it look easy.
Yeah, I always turn off high jump boots because it's significantly easier without high jump boots, and I just eat the time loss on the menu. But yeah, it's still very nicely done.
Alright, so PBB is going to be heading up to Ganon's Tower, most likely. So we'll find out, are we actually in go mode or not? I know chat's rooting for the boots on Shack Tool and the boots being required.
I kind of like to see, I kind of want, because I'm nice and I like our runners, I kind of want the boots to be required and also in GT, so that they have to get them and they get to have a nice climb with the boots, because the climb without boots is terrible. You get to meme a little bit, have the key on the torch, but also have the boots quickly thereafter. That's what I'm rooting for here. Oh, Bunny doesn't have high jump boots. Okay, I didn't realize that, but that is a good point.
You can go ahead if you want to get some numbers in chat for where you think the Ganon's Tower big key is going to be. We'll be going off Polar Bear Bunny, just in case anybody else gets the GT soon. I believe the bot is either not being used for this tournament or is still broken. So you will win absolutely nothing if you guess correctly, but we'll pretend that you will gain internet fame and live on forever in the annals of the Ganon's Tower big key guessing game. I will tell my cat that you have won.
Yeah, meanwhile, unsurprisingly, Nate getting the gold sword here as well. He also doesn't have high jump boots. But Shadow does. Again, more of this mirroring.
I was just gonna say it's once again, top and bottom.
it's crazy how that works out. That shows a lot about our runners' experience and the way they've done this co-op, because the fact that they're doing things and ending up in the same situations means they're probably making good choices. Like the fact that 2 teams of people have collectively made the same choices repeatedly. It's very likely that they're doing things the right way. Kind of a nice little like validation to your decisions that the other team thought to do things exactly the same too.
And Shadow's got blind down, so he just needs to do Desert Palace. Chest number 1 is a heart piece. Chest number 2 is a shield. Yay for lag. Although they don't have nearly the hearts to generate lag. If I understand how that works. We do not get the item crawl, so we will not know where boots are. And boots are not required, so we are 100% in go mode. Is item number 3, the torch is just missiles.
Still holding out hope that we get to know where the boots are and that they find them before the climb.
Doesn't it depend on the number of hearts somebody has, Tracy?
I think there's always lag, but there's more lag for more hearts. Oh,
Big key, number 4.
That was nice and fast.
Which nobody guessed. Okay, thanks Tracy, that's good to know. We've got Asder taking on Dragon. He could microwave if he chooses. And he looks like he chooses. We're all losers. I think you're pretty awesome, chat. Thanks for hanging out with us, chat, and watching this super hype race with us. This has been some amazing execution. I mean, we're looking at probably, I think it's pretty safe to say, a sub 230.
Oh yeah, especially with that GT key placement. That's very likely that all our runners are under that time.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be a pretty photo finish, really. I think Pear's in the lead, but it's not by much.
I think so too. Guess we'll see. So Shadow's gonna get into GT before Azure, but he doesn't have Dragon killed. Could potentially do, and will likely do Dragon after Ganon's tower, or after Ganon even. That makes the most sense to me. I think that's his best option.
Yep, please do, while we have everybody heading towards Ganon's tower, or it looks like Asder might actually do Mother Brain first. Please do take a minute and give all of these runners a follow. Like I said, this has been a pretty hype race and the skill level has been through the roof. So please give them a follow, give them some encouragement. Please also give a follow to our awesome trackers, Madewalk Herd and Epi37, who have been doing an awesome job in keeping us honest and letting us know what's been going on for all the stuff we've missed. I have nothing but the huge respect for trackers. I lack the attention span, and I think anyone who can do it's pretty awesome. And give a follow to my co-com, Ace0, who's been a blast to cast with.
Yeah, and follow Eleanor as well. It's been a lot of fun working with you too.
Appreciate it. I really thought we'd have all 4 runners in GT, but Aster's got to go and screw everything up.
Yeah, I mean, it does have its advantages to do Super Metroid first. You don't have the lag from the timer during the escape sequence, and of course, like, he knows there's not going to be anything in GT he's going to find that's going to speed up this Torian.
I enjoy the sound effects on PBB's side, as she forgot that she didn't have the fire rod.
Yeah, I do that all the time. You remember that you don't have fire rod, but you don't remember like what that means. You know, you still start out the normal strategy, and then it's like, wait a minute, I can't do that 4th torch last. I have to do it first. You start over.
Aster with 3 energy tanks.
We haven't seen a lot. I think Nate has the most. He's got like 8, I want to say, but I'm pretty sure that's more than anyone else has at this point in time. I know for a while we had a lot of like 3s and 4s. I guess Asher just continued to not pick any up, but 3's enough.
He's got so little energy that why even bother doing baby skip?
We don't have the boots at the top of GT, unfortunately.
Yep, we'll never know where the boots are.
Nice gauntlet and climb from Nate. And he's skipping these chests at the top. But he's decided even if boots are in the top of GT, it's too late. They're not worth anymore. I don't care. I can respect that.
PBB with 222.
Very nice.
This is a upper bracket match, so neither of these teams will be eliminated. Whichever team loses will go down to the lower bracket, and their opponents have yet to be determined. So the stakes on this match are a little bit lower than some of the other matches we've had, but that said, nobody wants to go to the lower bracket. You want to stay in that upper bracket as long as you can. As I said, this is a double elimination tournament. You want to save that double elimination for as long as you can. Nate getting a 0 there, unfortunately. He's had some really bad Aga patterns, but that was a good pattern. That was a nice triple.
Yeah, and unlike the standalone Link to the Past randomizer, the Ganon warps, the Aghanim patterns, those things are not they're not normalized for the seed, so every player is going to have random Ganon behavior, random Aghanim behavior. So sometimes you can get a little bit in trouble and have bad luck and bad patterns. You can get a ton of extra warps that your opponent might not, but it ends up working out pretty even at the end of the day.
And PBB onto phase 3 of Ganon. She flew through phase 1 and 2. We've got Nate taking on Ganon at the same time. So Nate, I think, has caught up some time on Polar Bear Bunny here.
Yeah, he had a really nice gauntlet, and so did Shadow. Honestly, all their gauntlets, their GTs have been really good. Polar Bear Bunny just took a little bit more damage, which obviously slows you down, and then had to stop and drink a potion. As I say that, Nate's got to drink one right here in the Ganon fight to stay alive, or make sure he doesn't have to
Good
worry.
thing he did, because he would have died.
Yeah, the phase 4 fire bats only do 2 hearts of damage, but the phase 1 and 2 Trident, Fire Bats, and stuff. I don't know about the phase 3 ones, but the first couple phases do damage relative to your mail. So that was 3 hearts on blue mail for him. There's our first finish of one of the games from one of our players. Blubber Bunny finishes up Link to the Past. Satorian away from being our first overall finisher.
I'm not ready to say that she's going to be first. I think Nate's got something to say about that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty spicy. It depends on how they do in Turian. If anybody gets a baby skip, if we get a stand-up glitch, which I think Nate has enough E-tanks to do stand-up. Save a few seconds there. How quick their Zeb skips are.
So get another G in chat for Nate, i.e. 754, who has gotten Ganon down. This tournament does go by whoever finishes second.
Correct. And I'm crazy. Nate has 5 E-tanks. Nobody has enough for stand-up glitch, so that's irrelevant. It's like Blubber Bunny has the most at 6, which is not that unusual for co-op.
I was gonna say that's still pretty laughably bad.
Ideally, you'd like to have either fewer because it means you pick up more stuff, or in a lot of cases, like one more just so you can do stand-up glitch, save a few seconds. But 6 is nice because you don't have to think about stand-up, because you can mess that up. You can lose time if you, or potentially have to reset soft lock if things go very wrong, and you don't have to worry about that. Kind of coast through that cutscene. And Asher didn't get speed. That's a bit surprising to me. I thought he skipped it, but the fact that he's not shine sparking up the climb indicates that he did in fact skip speed from behind Dragon. It's still a nice job in that climb to get out, and there's the first one to beat Super Metroid.
I think the consensus in chat was that skipping speed was pretty time neutral. You lose some time getting it, but then you make up some time during the escape, and it works out to be pretty close to even.
Yeah, I think in this case it's something where the better your skill and execution is, the more it hurts you to pick it up, or rather the less it helps you to pick it up. Because that was a very good climb. My climb would not have been that good, and the Shine Spark up is way easier.
I'm with you right there.
So I would have lost a little more time than Asher did by not picking it up.
And
the
get
fanfare, or lack of fanfare, is the same for everybody.
Yep, and get a G in chat for Shadow, who's got Ganon down. So that's 3 runners with Ganon down and 1 with Mother Brain down.
Oh, Shadow still has to do Dragon. I almost forgot. Okay.
Oh, I forgot that too. Okay.
I was thinking somehow it feels like Shadow caught way up and that Asher was going to be potentially our 4th finisher, but it's looking like right now it's going to be Shadow, since he's still got to go get Dragon.
Yeah, I was totally blanking on that Dragon too. I was like, wow, how did Asder lose so much time?
Yeah, I know Boots makes this really awkward walk too. Can't tell. I like the boots, and I want people to have the boots to play the game.
Shadow, please. Yeah, so this Dragon kill isn't going to take long for Shadow, but it's going to take long enough that I think Asder has a very large lead. And PBB is going to be joined shortly by I-754, aka Nate. Sorry, I'm just saying that for fun. I know it's IEEE.
If you say it in just the right way, it almost matches that more shrill tone in the music.
I knew that's what you were gonna say, and I was thinking, I'm not sure that's a compliment.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
It's all good. I got a good laugh out of it.
Very nice start to the Mother Brain fight for our two runners that are in that at the moment. It goes so fast with a full beam combo.
Yeah.
Quick Dragon finish from Shadow, too.
He is gonna grab that speed booster, it looks like. So he's gonna head back to A Link to the Past and then reset to go to the ship.
Yep, he's got plenty of ammo and health. Won't have to refill or anything. I was actually a little bit surprised that that Nate refilled at the ship. He was a little bit low on his E-tanks. But if your Metroid rooms are clean, you kind of just end up scooping up some health on your way through. And you kind of don't want to get through the Metroid rooms with full health, because that just means the baby's going to take longer. If you not get baby skip, which doesn't appear we've had one yet. We still have one more possible baby skip, but that's a really hard trick, and if you go for it and either don't get it or take too long to get it, you can end up not really saving any time, so absolutely understandable for the runners that don't choose to go for it.
Indeed, and when you're at such low energy, I mean, getting drained is not very long.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not like 100% where you have 14 E-tanks all full to drain.
Does Bunny save the animals? This is a race where that could actually determine who finishes first. I don't think it's going to determine who wins the race, but it could determine who is first. Asdar remembering that he does not have the fire rod, I think.
Yeah, is he gonna make it through the door? I didn't think so.
Okay, I take that back, forgetting he doesn't have the fire rod. Bunny saying goodbye to the animals and finishing in first place with a official time of... Sorry, my timing was a little off there. 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 43 seconds is Polar Bear Bunny. Get your GGs to her. And right on her tail, finishing in second place, is IEEE 754, aka Nate, in 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 56 seconds. So that is a whole 13 seconds difference between those two. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's exactly the kind of closeness I expected from this race before it started, but sometimes you expect a good close race like that and then it falls apart. Still got a little bit left to see who's gonna get second.
Yep, we've got Shadow just on the baby, going for baby skip. Not getting it. Asdar is about to be on Aga 2. That was a pretty terrible Aga pattern on Aster's side.
And of course the blue balls in Aga 2, just like Aga 1 or RNG.
And Shadow on Mother Brain as Aster jumps into Ganon.
Very cool to see the true SMZ3 experience, both final bosses at the same time.
They're even on the right side for the background that SpeedGaming uses, where Ganon's on the right and Samus is on the left.
You're right, that's a good point. I didn't even notice. You're getting a couple warps. Okay.
That was about to be a Ganon, please.
Really worry too much about the first couple. It gets frustrating after 4, 5, 6. I think 50 some is the record. 50 some extra Ganon warps on top of the 4 that are guaranteed after each hit.
And finishing in third place with an official race time.gg time is Aster with a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 5 seconds. And wow, that was a run-on sentence. Get your GGs in chat for Aster and your GGs in chat for Pear, who have finished in first place in the race, and they will continue on in the upper bracket. That means that Plasma Go Brrrr will be heading to the lower bracket.
GG's then, what a fantastic race. This was a lot of fun. Let's see, sounds like somebody's joining us in here. It's like Asher and Polar Bunny, a Bear Pair in the chat with us. GG's, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, GG's, heck of a race.
Yeah, so I need a new controller.
Buck needs a new controller.
We were gonna, we were debating in chat whether that was you discussing your strategy or if it was a controller issue.
No, I basically never sacrifice time like standing around or like waffling or whatever to do anything like that. Like I'm the kind of person that like I try not to lose time taking notes and cross keys even stuff like that. I try to always move, but
That's also why he saved in places that he normally would not save.
yeah, there's like really good chance my controller is just gonna screw me on Ridley. It only started happening yesterday, and it wasn't happening that much, so I was hopeful it wouldn't be a big issue. And it was very bad today. Yeah, this is kind of what happened last time. I had to replace my controller too.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it was happening in bursts. Like you'd have a few instances here and there where you'd be pushing your face into a wall, and we weren't sure if you were communicating or what, and then it'd be fine for a while, and then it seemed like it would act up again. But looks like you got through it. And didn't fortunately didn't affect the race. It's always frustrating if tech issues do, but
I think there's a couple of places where I might have made different decisions if it wasn't happening. Like we got worried about Turtle Rock late game, and I was just like, I think I totally probably would have like jumped in and dipped that after Hammer if my controller wasn't malfunctioning. I would have been further ahead probably and done some of the bad stuff that she was doing with Meyer. But it was actually kind of really lucky for us that we got such a crappy seed. Because I think that if the seed was nicer, we would not have had a chance with those issues.
Yep, just want to throw out there throw out there really quick that Shadow is finished in 4th place with a time of 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 7 seconds. So get your GGs in chat for him and for Plasma Go Brrrr.
GG.
Hello.
And welcome to Shadow and IEE 754.
Oh,
Good
GG,
race. I hope it was fun to watch.
That seed was awful.
I'm sure it was.
Because it wasn't fun to play.
It was great to watch. We had a lot of sync between you guys. In particular, it worked out really well on the restream that Shadow and Azure, you guys did a lot of the same things. Were like neck and neck for quite a lot of the race, and then Nate and Polar Bunny, you guys did a lot of the same plays, and were again neck and neck the whole time, not just at the finish there.
there's nothing else to do. Since he didn't let you do anything.
I think the big difference was I ended up dipping Meyer and not leaving right away when Nate found Lamp.
Yeah, that's. Were you still looking for anything? Gravity? Oh yeah, gravity.
I entered. Yeah, I mean, I could have gone to Croc and grabbed Grapple and done Suitless Dragon, but I mean, it was probably easier to find Gravity. We were hoping Sine Wave was nothing because we really did not want to go back to Croc. Because Nate did Croc while I did Lower Norfair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I made a huge mistake early game. So when we started heading in the Norfair, like, do we have to go backwards all the way to Croc, or do we have to go into Lower Norfair, which is where Morphball was? I saved at the elevator, thinking that I could reset and get out quickly. Except you can't go backwards without Morphball, so I completely screwed myself. Because after Croc was nothing, I reset when obviously I actually just had to leave Croc Escape.
Yeah, I was a bit worried because I did Lower Norfair and I know it can force you to go back through Acid Dive, and I didn't have enough tanks for that. So I didn't save. I remembered to not save. So I was pretty lucky that Hotaruby just was Morph.
Yeah, after that, knowing that I was going to be super behind having to go back for Ridley, I just started doing a lot of catch up. So I think without some of those early game mistakes, we would have split stuff up better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's honestly, I think that because you both had a little bit of trouble in Lower Norfair. I want to say Shadow got stuck on the fast pillars.
Yeah, my space jump dropped and I got stuck on fast pillars. I had to reset and go back.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately kind of what decided the races. I think those time losses were probably enough that would have put you guys in the lead.
And then Nate dying into Ridley and having to go back later.
Yeah, because of the early game mistakes and like having reset after killing Croc, not realizing that was a bad thing to do. We pretty much went the whole seed convincing Shadow that we were not going to do Croc. It was like, if Croc is the answer, I'm pretty sure we're losing.
But let me say, choosing between a Meyer dip without a fire source and a Turtle Rock dip without a fire rod is awful.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, yeah, cool, we can do Fireless Meyer or Fireless Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I kind of thought that it might be like take Lamp to the left side Meyer and then get like Fire Rod to get Gravity out of Turtle Rock or something.
Yeah, I totally did Suitless. Like, I was like, well, I know this isn't in logic, but if Suitless is the answer, I don't want to put it off too long.
Well, following with the idea of you and Asdor syncing, Asdor also did Suitless Meridia.
Yeah, and from the back, I don't know if any of
On the
those are
back, it's pretty
which
easy.
ones are not in logic, but most of that's in logic with high jump and ice, which you guys both had from Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone there without high jump, obviously.
Did you do Dragon Suitless also, Asder?
No, it didn't seem worth the time. I was way behind because I was having controller issues. So we kind of split stuff up differently than we would normally have, and I think it actually caused us to split stuff up in a very similar way to you guys, from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I so like I knew that gravity wasn't gonna be at Dragon or Precious Missile, and that was kind of the main thing I was looking for, because we probably would have done it probably would have been okay with skipping gravity if we had Spring Ball, but
Yeah.
without it, it was it was tougher for us both to like reliably do. And actually, like after I cleared Suitless Meridian, all the places that grav could have been, I knew it had to be available, so at least there was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt bad, like, because we got Dark World, like, we found Pearl pretty much right after getting Morph. And we just like, well, we don't have a weapon, so Dark World kind of sucks. And then we ended up just full clearing Super Metroid for only like flippers and mirror and 3 swords. And we're like, well, I guess we're just going to Link to the Past and splitting everything up.
Yeah,
I mean, looking back at my tracker, like even at the end of the game, we still didn't have very many Link to the Past items.
yeah, the menu's full of holes.
My boots.
Yeah. I was wishing you guys would get
Yeah.
those boots. But
What, fire rod, boots, cape,
Fire rod.
shovel, everything in GT, I guess.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
to
not
Turtle.
even cape or blue cane. It's like,
I mean,
this sucks.
Rod may have been in Mire for more stuff in Turtle Rock, but
Yeah. The Mire layout was hilarious for, like, not having a fire source. Like, you literally got not even the big key. Like, got
Yeah.
nothing. Just a bunch of keys and a compass. It's like, cool.
yeah, I definitely should have gone back to Thieves Town sooner and just done it. But I decided to try and find our fire source or gravity suit first.
Yeah.
Well, GG's.
I was gonna say, a lot of the dungeon layouts were pretty bad. I know Ice Palace
Yeah.
was particularly annoying too. You guys had to, especially as a go mode where you still have to go to Ice Tea to get the big key to go to the big chest to get your bow. Like, that's so rude.
Yeah. I was a big
Yeah.
idiot in Ice Palace.
Yeah, me too. I
Okay.
went the wrong way.
That's
I
not
think-
unusual.
I think she went the wronger way, but I also didn't approach Ice Tea properly.
I think you were just one key shy, right, Pulver Bunny? Like, if you had a small key,
Yeah.
it would have been perfect.
Oh
Well,
yeah, because she was like
yeah.
go moding it, so
I
she didn't get
shouldn't
the
have
key in.
gone
Right.
that way. I should have just gone the normal way because I didn't hit the switch, so I could just walk over to Ice Tea, get the big key, and walk back, and not be an
Yeah.
idiot.
I didn't hit the switch either, but I didn't take advantage of that. I didn't drop down, even though I should have. But yeah, I didn't think to mention first chest was the key. I kind of forgot about that, so
Yeah,
you didn't have the one key that I did.
The first chest was a key, and the other key was on Cold Stair. You had to get the Pin Gator chest key.
So,
Yeah,
That's-
it's gross, no matter what you do.
Plasma Go Brrrr, I'm curious if you guys have a thought on your opponents. You're going to be facing either Fire Rod Locked, which is Sinus and Lachlan, or your other team is going to be Young Chaos, which are Devious RNG and Tony T. Young. Do you guys have any opinion on which of those teams you'd rather face?
I don't think it really matters to us. Well, I mean, we're gonna play how we play normally. I mean, like I think I said in chat in the race earlier that like the 3 through 7 seeds were like a half a point apart after qualifiers. So like we knew this was going to be a close match against Asder and Polar Bear Bunny.
Yeah.
But it was pretty spread out. I know a lot of teams have been getting better.
Yeah.
So it'll be
I think
interesting.
we're probably gonna cruise through the lower bracket until we face the loser of crockpot versus hot dog or corn dog. Sorry.
Hot dog.
I feel like whoever loses that match, that's where we're gonna hit a roadblock in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and as for Bear Pair, you guys could be facing Team Farts, which I believe is Andy and Ivan. Or you could be facing Law.
I would love to race Omslaw, but
Wow.
Not good maniacal.
it's gonna be tough though.
Wow,
Or-
counting Ace T out already. Jeez. Thanks,
Yeah, I was
Eleanor.
gonna say,
She didn't mention Ace-T.
I was getting there. I was getting there.
Okay,
I was
okay.
getting there.
I was like, I'm not looking at the bracket. I have no idea.
Well, that match was supposed to have happened already, so I'm just gonna go with you
Yeah.
and count them out.
Ace.
Hey, it wasn't our fault.
Blame Niacal.
It wasn't my car that died. No.
It'll be fun either way. I don't know if any race can be more stressful than this one was.
This
I
was
hope not.
like I wish this race didn't go this way, because the way I had to play with my controller, not being able to trust it and knowing it could kill me at any time, was not fun. And the seed was also like not great on top of it. So I don't feel great about like how this match turned out. Like I don't think I was able to make the plays I wanted to. And it just like, you know, the other team had their mistakes as well. I just think it could have been a better match.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had 5 E-tanks at the end still, like early lower Norfair. I think I went in with 3, and I had to play it safe, and Nate ended up dying. So like, there was a lot of mistakes. Your controller issues suck.
I think PBB ended up with the most E-tanks that anybody had at like, I think you had 6 PBB.
I think
Is
so.
that 6
Yeah.
really the most?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 6 and 2 reserves or something like that. Which is funny though, because Polar Bunny, you're the one that had the fewest in your first lower Norfair dip with 2.
Yeah, that's why I left.
No,
Because I was like,
had one. I had
I was
one when
like-
I did lower
Good one.
Norfair.
one E-tank for you
did
is
have
like
one,
5
and
for me.
1
though.
reserve. You did. You could really fight on 1 E-tank and 1 or 2 reserves.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been fine on 1 E-tank on Ridley, except he hit me 3 times trying to pick me up.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I'm
the
glad
problem is
that's
when you
fair.
get hit when you have few E-tanks, you take damage and that kills you.
Yeah, so I'm glad I had 3 because he took me down to 1.
Well, I only had 2 E-tanks, and then I died.
I didn't take any hits, so that was
Oh
fine.
yeah, you're supposed to damage list.
Yeah.
It's like one dog.
I was damageless until he tried picking me up. He hit me with a tail and then hit me with a claw.
That's unfair. That's yeah. It's like Husher was like, so you're just leaving Lower Norfolk? I'm like, yeah, I'll die to
I wasn't saying it like,
watch me.
I wasn't saying it with that connotation. I was like,
No, I know.
straightforward.
yeah, you
You're
were.
you're just saying like, oh, so you're just gonna leave Lower Norfolk like that, like I'm guilt tripping over not doing Ridley.
No, yeah, I think it was the right play for me.
Yeah. I legitimately think pretty much any of the teams that were left in the upper bracket can win any given match. So
Mhm. Yeah, for
I-
sure.
I think the end of this tournament's going to be really interesting.
Well, I can certainly say that the seed may have been classified as trash by everybody, but it was a super entertaining race to watch.
You're welcome, cutie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can only imagine it was fun to watch. It was not fun to play.
I still like. I think I would have had fun with the seat personally if my controller worked.
I
I hate to
mean,
keep
Yeah.
like bringing that up,
Yeah.
but it was really interesting. Like it was really like puzzly. Like the first like, oh, we got to go through Lower Norfair. That was kind of fun, but yeah.
Better get that controller fixed before team farts.
Yeah, I'm
They
glad that we won because that means we have an extra week to get me a replacement. So I use a Wii Classic Controller Pro, and it's kind of hard to find good ones of those anymore. Because I used to play on Wii VC, so when I switched to SNES, I got an adapter. So now I have to find one again, and I think that's gonna suck.
Well, and I don't think anybody's going to blame you for bringing up controller problems. That's the worst, is when your interface doesn't work.
I think a couple people, but it can't be helped.
No, we'll just ignore them.
Well, you beat us regardless with controller problems, so you super deserve the win.
Yeah, thank you. GG's, guys.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
GG.
Nope. All right. Anybody have anything else they want to add for the evening?
I hope Lenofis and MST are happy that this was a hard logic seed. That's all I'm gonna say. Said there aren't enough of them in this tourney.
I think they'll be pretty happy. Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. I've been Eleanor Lamb. I'll let Ace take us out.
All right. Thanks again to our racers. Thanks, Eleanor, for coming with me. It was a great time. Thanks, of course, to our trackers, Epi37 and Mad Ewok Herd. It was a great race. Looking forward to see both these teams continue in the tournament and watching a bunch of other good races.
I just got his name. Mad Ewok Herd. Oh.
At least I think that's right.
That's got to be it.
That's
That's
right.
got to be it.
But yeah, thanks you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great evening.